right?
Cup holder that makes the whole thing.
That's where it's at.
Hey, we are at the second day of the B&H Bild Expo. We'd like to say congratulations for 50 years of B&H being in business. I am with my BFF Randall. We met at the Pro Fusion Expo in Toronto. Once again, we did a little impromptu show at the San Diego Expo with the Cos.
The comms, yeah, Solidcom. Yeah, Solidcom C1 is what I got on my head now.
And what's the long distance?
Oh yeah, the bigger one. They're both long distance.
Yeah,
They're
like
both
when you said
1,000 feet. The Solidcom M1 is the other one.
No.
Oh yeah. Oh, the big boy is the Solidcom M1 with the FRP antennas, and that's got 1,000 feet of distance, or 1,300 if you have the panel antenna in front of
So
it.
what's the HDMI one that had the one we used as long distance?
Oh, that's the Cosmo C1. Yeah.
Oh.
That's 1,000 feet of range as the video
What's
transmission.
even the one that's longer?
And then we also have the Syscom 421.
That's the one I like.
1,800 feet, and that's got about 70 milliseconds
That's what we
latency.
used at San Diego Expo.
Yes, yeah. It's a good time. Good stuff.
So I'm gonna just pass it off to Randall. He's gonna talk about Hollyland, what they brought to the show, and then we're gonna do a little sub going to the different sections of the booth. So just Walter, I'll be back there manning the camera, but hopefully if you have any questions, ask him in the comments. And on that camera, we have the FX3 with the LARK
Max.
Max.
Yeah.
So we have dual recording. We have the Sony over there, and we have the LARK on this camera, and I'm gonna blend them together.
Awesome. Loving it. Bing, bang, boom. So, thank you, Walter, for having us here. And again, thank you for B&H for having us here. 50 years in the making. Awesome, good stuff. We are Hollyland. We are 10 years in the making, actually, celebrating our own anniversary. So started back in 2013. We come from Shenzhen, China. Don't worry about me. You might see the pirate leg, but it's cool. I'm okay. Everything's fine. So today I'm going to take you through a little loop through of some of our gear and what we offer. We specialize in wireless transmissions. So we have everything from video wireless transmissions to microphones and intercom, and then we've been diving in a little bit to live stream cameras as well. So I'm going to go through the lineup here, take a little video with Walter at the helm, and show off some of these as long as I don't get too many people in the way here for us. So we're going to do that as well. So we're going to start on the video side as per direction over here. So yeah, I'm going to take it over there right now. Randall here with Hollyland, back at you on the video situation. So on the video, we got a lot of things here on the table, but the one thing that we didn't unfortunately pack up or whip out is our Syscom 421. Really great piece. It's kind of the higher end of everything we have. It does 4 transmitters, up to 4 transmitters to a standard receiver. All have their separate but synced outputs at that point in time. Up to 1,800 feet of transmission, all the 1080, 60 and below. And then also, it's at about 70 milliseconds of latency on that bad boy, but great for sporting events, things to that nature that are just coming back to either record or to live stream out, because again, they are all synced on the back end. And you got return channels on LAN or the 485 or 422 that are really great to do PTZ control or send other control as need be as well. So, onto what's onto the table here, right? Onto the table is kind of what I think is our next best up as far as latency and range in the Cosmo series. The Cosmo has 1,000 feet of range, and you got the Duo here, $899 retail package. Comes with a couple extras too. The antennas that we're using here come with it. The polarized circular little mushrooms, we give you a pair of those to go with it as well. They all run on either MPF battery or the DC plugins, right? Cool thing about the Cosmo is the 40 milliseconds of latency with that 1,000 feet. So a couple frames if you're shooting 60, a little more than a couple frames. If you're shooting 30 frames, you're getting just about a frame. You got an HDMI in, right, and out, obviously, but then, of course, on the transmitter, you got a loop out as well on your SDI. So if you want to do that, that's nice for recording capabilities. You also then have 2 outs on the SDI on your receiver, as well as, if you wanted to, use your USB-C as an output, not only just for firmware update, you can send it to your camera to have a live situation there, which is pretty great. So, Cosmo C1. I always let that S and C get together too much. So next up on our list for video transmission is the Mars series. So I'm going to start, you've seen my phone here, but I'm going to start off with what is the originator that we have on the shelf here, the 400S Pro. We do have another Mars 300 Pro, but we'll start with this one, and that just goes 300 feet versus this one's 400 feet. And this was kind of great. It had the cold shoe attached to it originally, right? The transmitter looks exactly the same as this. You got it in and out, no loop throughs like the Cosmo. There's a bit of latency, roughly between 80 to 100 milliseconds on these. But again, DC in or MPF battery, which is really well known out there, right? Give you extra antennas to go with it. You get a year warranty on every piece of gear we have, and some of the bigger stuff like that Syscom or the Solidcom M1 give you a 2-year warranty as well, which is very nice. So back to that phone that you saw, which I really love about the Mars series, and that piece can do it as well, but I want to show off the phone series and what we're using now is the 4K. So the Mars 4K, we upgraded. Instead of going 400 feet of range like that one had, you get 450 feet of range, which is pretty awesome. Then also they updated the latency. So you can get about, at 1080, you can get about 60 milliseconds of latency. But as you see, it says 4K on it. So we offer a 4K at 30 frames or less. And with that, you have the ability to do that in the HDMI only, because the SDI is still 3G. But we did upgrade the SDI as well, because that will go to a fractional frame rate in, like it always has, but on the backside, it'll kick it out for you too. So any of the people that have the fractional frame rate only switchers, this is a good upgrade for you. Price-wise, sorry I didn't grab that up for you, $699 for the pair of these, and then $599 for the originals I was showing you at the 400. The cool thing is, though, is that you can go to a hard receiver like we're doing now that the camera's off screen here, and you can see it here. And then, so that's my back of my head, which I got to get a haircut. But either way, that's a good indication of what's coming off that. And with that, then, you can also hook up 2 more cameras to your apps if you wanted to. So we actually have 2 phones here waiting for you, like the baking shows. We put it in the oven and we got it ready to go for you. So I enjoy those a lot. I'm a big fan of the Mars series because you have a lot of applications. You can just get the transmitter and do up to 4 apps if you want to. You can do 2 hard receivers. So if I wanted to get 2 separate send-outs that way, you can do it that way too. Really great pieces. And that's the lineup for most of the video transmission. And then the rest of it is in this VenusLiv that we just whipped out too. So this is a camera made specifically more for live streaming. So it's pretty simple, 1 inch on it, nothing too nuts, CMOS, right? Fixed though, so as you see here, it's set horizontally, but there is cold shoes and 1/4 inches on each of the bottoms here. So there's tripods in one, and this 1/4 inch is here for us as well. And that's in the cold shoes, or the hot shoe, whichever way you put that, sorry, but the way to mount it for you. So because the sensor is fixed then. So because of that, you either go horizontal with it, set like it is now, or you go portrait with it. And you can also do selfie mode, which is pretty nice. So I can flip that all the way around and then watch myself as I need to, which is pretty cool. And then in that way too, there's a nice menu on it and everything else. And then the beauty of this is you can live stream straight from it. So what you can do is hit to the camera here, and hopefully I can show it, but it's a little harder to do on camera. But you can see it says live stream here, and the idea is you can upload your YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever stream key you need to put in there. You do it once with the QR code from your phone, and then you can set it up through that way, and it's a nice little easy, you hit live stream and you're ready to rock. Again, you can either do it portrait or set it horizontal as well. $9.99 for that bad boy. Great piece. I enjoy it a lot. I'm a fan. That's Videoland. That's the Videoland. So now, I guess we make our way over to the microphone / intercom land. All right, so now we've made it over to the intercom area. One of my favorite areas of what Hollyland does. We have 2 major systems that are pushing recently here. It's the Solidcom series. We made the originality of it, the M1, back in 2020, I believe. Hopefully no one corrects me on that if I'm wrong. I didn't have my slides with me today, so sorry, Walter. But it's the original piece. What's that?
Make a mistake.
Give the thumbs down if I made a mistake on that. But no, in that case, we're gonna, this is the M1, great piece, goes 1,000 feet on range with these FRP antennas, fiberglass reinforced plastic is all they mean. It's a TNC connection. That gives you 985 feet is what it's ranked for omnidirectional from this piece then. And those are the headsets with the belt pack that look like this. These are actually used during the Build Experience dinner last night for the production team. I had to go help them set it up a little bit. And so these are the headphones here. They are really great. They have a dynamic microphone. So it kind of keeps out the rest of the room for you pretty easily. They also give you the 3 groups then. So A, B, and C. So if I wanted to get back into these groups, I just double tap to get back in, or I long hold to get out. And there's a lot of different other settings too in what they call talk mode. So if you want to put somebody as like a director and they want to be on belt pack 1 and on group A, they're the announcer, meaning that every time they talk, everybody else is muted. You can set that up within the Wi-Fi connection that goes through a browser from the base unit itself here. And then the base unit can also connect to another base unit to have all 3 of these groups go up to 16 units wirelessly. And then of course it's got 4-wire, 2-wire, so you can hook up to other ClearComms, FreeSpeak, or even more of our M1s if you want to make a bigger scene, which again, was done last night at the Build Experience dinner, which is pretty cool. So yeah, great pieces. And then also too, there's a base antenna in the, or not just a base antenna, a panel antenna in the front here. So that will extend your range by 300 feet if you do need to get in front a little bit, and you can set it in the back of the house, because behind it you only have another like 160 feet then. But if you need to go a little more than your 1,000 feet, you can kind of set it in the back of the room. Just take these antennas off the bad boy, and then you can run it from there in that case. That's a Solidcom M1, great piece. You can get a 4-pack for $42.99, and you can get the whole 8-pack for $69.99. And that comes with the antennas, gives you extra little replacement pieces and things to that nature. It gives you a nice big old rolling case to go along with it too, so that's nice. And then on to our creme de la creme, at least I feel it is, in the Solidcom C1 Pro. So this bad boy, we had an original out on, and the original, great piece, nothing wrong with it. Well, a few things that we upgraded. I won't say wrong with it, but a few things that we upgraded, right? And the original, you can only come up to mute. So if I'm on my ears, you can only come up to mute. And then there was no noise cancellation. So they're condenser microphones, which is great for like productions and stuff if you want to whisper. You don't want to, scream at people the whole time, which I'm pretty good at it, as you can tell, I'm a loud guy. But the fun of that is that when you're by a music situation or you're in a loud area, you can't hear each other. So that just kind of null and voids the whole thing. So we upgraded and made a noise canceling version. 2 different upgrades on these. Well, 3, actually, 3 majors, I feel. One is the noise cancellation. When you have your microphone down here, and I turn my headset back on because I turned it off for earlier when people were bothering me during the midst of this. Actually, let me just switch headsets here. So when you pull it down, there's a light, and you can also see it, that there is a little yellow thing here on my microphone. That means that my noise cancellation is on for this specific headset. And what that does is it has a microphone on the headset itself, takes in all the noise around you, does the whole 180 flip destructive cancellation, which is pretty BA. So with that, that helps a lot with those situations by the venues or by the stages that you're sitting at, right? And you don't have the ability to muffle yourself, so you gotta use a noise cancellation. And then the other thing that helps in that situation is they added a mute button. So on the side here, you got the mute button here as well, and that you can just tap to mute yourself. And then when you do, what's nice is that the light goes red. So that's pretty cool too, so you know you're muted if people aren't hearing you. And then you can also long tap it to get to the push to talk. So the push to talk here is a really cool feature, because now I can just be muted, and then when I want to talk, I just long press it. So again, that situation by the stage, if I don't want to be talking the entire time and I want to be muted, I just long hold that and then only long press it when I want to talk. Great features, great pieces. You can go headset to headset and 1 master headset to up to 7 receiver headsets. Both of our intercoms run on the 1.9 gigahertz, so you're not bothered by Sennheiser, Shure, all the other good pieces of gear that are being used out there, but aren't in the same frequency range, thank goodness. And then also no Wi-Fi interference with that too. So these things work really great. They run the full range at all these expos that we're at. We never had any issues with them whatsoever. They're great pieces. So you can also then run the hub if you do need interconnectivity to computer, if you want to go Zoom call out, if you want to go 2-wire in, if you want to go program in, a lot of different situations there for us as well. And that bad boy is great for all those interconnectivities. And then also it's a battery-powered piece of machinery, so you can do just the MPFs or a gold mount or V mount if you need to as well. So, and then if you order that with the 8-pack, you get a 9th headset that plugs into the front of it, which is pretty cool. So I do enjoy that as well. So if you have someone that sits next to the base, you can do that too. And so the 8-pack with the entirety of a nice case, the hub, and everything else goes for $44.99. And then the just the headsets alone, if you wanted to get a master up to 7 receivers, I'll get you 1 channel then. The hub, you need to get the hub to get both channels. But the 8-pack would go for $25.49, and the 4-pack goes for $12.99. And there's a couple of packages in between there, but worth looking into those if you want to get like a 2-pack or a 3-pack or anything of that nature too. And then last but definitely not least is our microphone situation here. And so I'm going to start off with lowest to highest as far as price. So this little bad boy is the LARK M1. The M1's a great piece, has the same case and actual transmission / microphones, right, as the C1s, but the difference on these is just the actual receiver itself. So some of these go straight into phones, but I like the M1. This is priced modestly at $149. And this is a nice cold shoe size in the back, so you can just pop it right onto the camera itself. It's got the 3.5 out, which will give you the 2 separate styles of cables to go either TRS or TRRS, whichever you prefer. And then there's also the ability to have 2 of them on one, right? So the fun of that is that I can do interview style. Anybody that's really inexpensively looking to get better audio into their camera, into any sort of interviews, things of that nature, great pieces. I also tell people if you work with both camera or phone, to do these as well, because then you have the ability to go, you just need to get your adapter cable for the phone itself. Now, if you're specifically phone, spend yourself another $30, go up to the USB-C or iPhone version here, and those go straight to your phone, then once you start recording from there, you have yourself a grand old time with it, right? And so I do enjoy these a lot too. The C1s, they go for $179 because we had to get the actual proprietary clearance, right, from the actual pieces of USB-C and the Lightning there as well. And the last but not least is the one I'm actually wearing. So this is the LARK MAX. A lot of great pieces about the LARK MAX I'm going to get into because it is kind of the creme de la creme of what we offer for this item. Now this is the case itself. And so in the case, it's a charging case, just like these two. So I got a couple more things on these. Range on the smaller ones, 650 feet. And this charges 1.5 times over. So you have the ability to use it for about 20 hours of use because it's 8 hours of each use on each battery charge there. And so the LARK MAX has a similar situation with the charging case, just like the LARK 150. It's kind of taken over for that, but this is it charges it twice over. So that only takes roughly about an hour and a half to charge them fully. But because these transmitters run for about 7.5 hours at a time, you'll get about 22 hours of use out of them. Now, upgrades on this compared to what the LARK 150 used to do. You used to only get about 350 feet from the LARK 150. We're now up to 800 some feet. But Randall, why do I ever need 800 feet? Great question, Walter. I'm glad you asked. So in that case, the reason that we ever want that is pretty much none short of the fact that if I know I'm in a busy area like I am today, I can at least get a couple hundred feet out of it without having interference messing with it. So I got 2.4 gigahertz. That's what all our microphones run on. But they've worked really great. I've saved a lot of people at expos with these. And the Max is a great piece too because you can have the transmitter itself, not only have a lavalier mic added to it, so I don't have to have it here on my chest like I am to proudly market it right now. But if I want to, I can put the lav on it and put it down as a radio pack as well, which is really great. It also has noise cancellation. So right now we're on the noise cancellation, which is great. So I'm glad we did that originally. But if I wanted to tap out of it, we can. In fact, I'm going to. On this mic, it changes both of them. So you might be able to hear the difference there for us between the two of them, right? Which is pretty nice. And hopefully Walter can pull that off. And then, yeah, so with that, it's $299 on this bad boy. $299 for the whole thing. They give you the kit to go with not only all that, and the one thing I forgot to mention on the receiver that I can't show off because it's being used on the actual camera itself is the ability to, sorry, they're messing with the receiver over here, is the ability to take the USB-C out and run that audio straight to your camera, or not camera, to your computer or phones. And we give you the cables to do that. USB-C to iPhone, USB-C to C, and the USB to A as well. So works really well in that case. Yeah. Awesome. And that's it. That's all I got. That's all Randall wrote for running through all the situations. Was that working, or did we need to adjust something? Already rolling. Come on. Give it up for my man Walter here, by the way, who does everything above and beyond. We got like 6 cameras hanging out here, some on tracks. The whole production is a one-man show here with Walter. So if you like his stuff, please be sure to check him out. Follow him. He's going to put the whole QR code and thing below here because I'm too stupid to remember the whole thing. So make sure you check that out. I appreciate all the work you do. He just comes by, rocks it, and rolls it. I think we did this in a half hour. This is great. So I appreciate it. Killing it. Thank you again, Walter.
Thank you very much. And they point out that audio is...
Oh, yeah, and the LARK MAX is coming from, we did that earlier during it, but the LARK MAX is coming from this bad boy here. So we have on that camera there, bam, that we have this LARK MAX is the audio that has been coming through the entire time. So I did do a little noise cancellation test while you were playing in the background too. So if you can adjust that, please do. Awesome, man.
Oh, yeah, let's do the bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Walter, always a pleasure. Let me give you this back, right?